Good morning, sir. Cadet Eppler, and I will be briefing Operation Bobcat Lightning for our 1st Squad, 1st Platoon, Charger Company of the 1st of the 5th Infantry Division. Before we get started, Alpha Team, Bravo Team, Gun Team, are we up? Make sure we got pen and paper to take notes on. Confirmation briefs will follow, and please hold all questions until the end. To start, the time that our brief will be in is local time Zulu plus 8 hours. To start with our task organization, we are an organic light infantry squad, meaning we have an Alpha and Bravo team, but in this case we have a 3 packs attachment from Gun Team in the form of with a medium machine gun. Our squad task is to attack to destroy enemy forces on objective Phantom, and the purpose of that is to deny enemy influence on the battalion main effort. Alpha Team, you will be our assault team. You will attack to destroy the enemy mortar team that is located on objective Phantom. The purpose of that is to deny enemy influence on the battalion main effort. Bravo Team, you will be a security team, and your task will be to block enemy forces on objective Phantom in order to limit enemy freedom of maneuver. Gun Team, you will be support by fire, and your purpose will be to enable the main effort on objective Phantom. To orient you to this AO overlay and all the rest of the maps that I will show, north will be up, south will be down, east will be to this side, and west will be to that side. The area of interest that we are looking at here is 37 northing to 31 northing, and 20 easting to 8 easting. And then AO Ronin, the area of operation that we will be working in, is from 37 northing to 31 northing, and the east boundary is the peaks of Coast Mountain here, which is bordering AO Amarak, and to the west is the Bainan River, which is bordering AO No Slack. It's important to note the enemy assets that are in our area of interest. To start, there is a platoon-sized attack helicopter element. The trigger for that platoon is battalion or higher sized elements, and that is a 30-minute response time. So it is not likely that on our squad operation from a patrol base down to objective Phantom that we will encounter the platoon of helicopters. But for future operations, it's important to note, be cognizant that they are there. For fires, they have 2 main systems for indirect fires. They have a PP-87 82mm mortar located here on objective Phantom. The equivalent for that in the U.S. is 252 M252 mortar. That will be firing on squad-sized elements and with a 5-minute reaction time. Its main objective is to disrupt U.S. forces in AO Amarak on objective Bobcat. Along with that, there's 152mm howitzers located to the south of what is shown here on the AO overlay. They will also be firing on squad-sized elements in support of disrupting U.S. forces on objective Bobcat, and there is a 10-minute reaction time for the 152mm howitzers. For this next section, please reference the GTAO as I will be going over key points throughout the map and obstacles and avenues of approach and such. To start, a couple of key terrains in AL Ronin is, of course, objective Phantom, where the enemy mortar team is located that we will destroy. There's an intersection located here that allows the enemy to control movement up and down Route Camaro, and there's a bridge here which allows the enemy to navigate movement from AO No Slack to AO Ronin, allowing supplies and equipment to go back and forth. Obstacles, there were intelligence suggests that there are small cantina wire along Route Camaro to help the enemy control the flow of U.S. movement. For our avenues approach on our squad attack, we will be starting here in our patrol base, and we will be coming down following the contours of the mountain, and then coming around and conducting a squad attack on objective Phantom. It is important to note that this area inside here is all restricted, as there is some dense vegetation, and along the mountain and on the mountain it is severely restricted as it is very steep. The dense vegetation will provide our squad with concealment from the enemy, as the observation from objective Phantom does not reach that far with the dense vegetation. For cover, however, since there's dense vegetation, there is very little cover. We might be able to find cover within the spurs and within the spurs of the mountain. But if IDF from the PP-87 mortar or the 152 howitzer come our way, it is very likely that we will sustain casualties. Otherwise, it's important to remain concealed on our approach to Objective Phantom. The weather for during the time of this operation is there will be precipitation, very high percentage cloud cover, and very low illumination, allowing us to have better concealment on our path towards Objective Phantom. Light data shows that sun up 04:45 to 19:15. So to prevent being observed by the enemy, it is important that we move during the night. This is the company level enemy scent temp. So looking at our company level, we will be taking on a platoon of motorized infantry, a recon squad that is currently screening. This motorized infantry platoon is currently occupying this area, and this mortar team is currently disrupting enemy forces on Objective Bobcat. To our west, we have a platoon of motorized infantry in AO No Slack, and there's a platoon of ADA assets disrupting rotary assets that have U.S. forces. And then to our east, there is a company of motorized infantry, and there's a platoon of ADA assets as well. Breaking this down further into our platoon level analysis, we can see that first squad is here to the north, disrupting U.S. forces along Route Camaro. Second squad and headquarters squad is currently occupying this village. Third squad is containing this intersection here. And then recon squad is still screening area looking for U.S. forces. And our objective, the mortar team, is still disrupting forces on Objective Bobcat. It's important to note that the mortar team is 4 packs. It is likely that they're all carrying QBZ 95s, which is the equivalent to a M4. And all of these motorized squads have CSK 141s and QJZ 89s, which is equivalent to an M2 heavy machine gun and a striker. The task is obviously to disrupt U.S. forces on Objective Bobcat to prevent U.S. forces' freedom of maneuver. The enemy mortar team is not only our high value target, but our high priority target, as neutralizing this weapon system will cut out enemy source of indirect fire, and it will also greatly increase the freedom of maneuver in AO Ronin and AO Amarak to our east. Now getting into the enemy capabilities by warfighting function. For intel, it is a weakness for the enemy. They're currently not aware of the disposition of our platoon and squad within AO Ronin. For movement, it is also a weakness for the enemy. Looking at these dismounted squads, the mortar team, the dismounted recon squad, their route withdrawal is very slow as the dense vegetation. So if contact is probable, it is likely that either the mortar team or the recon squad will be able to escape. Fires is a strength for the enemy with their IDF capabilities with the PP-87 mortar and the 152 howitzer. They're able to fire anywhere within AO Ronin and AO Amarak and put IDF on U.S. forces. Protection is a strength. This recon squad that is screening will let adjacent units know if U.S. forces are in the area. Sustainment is also a strength for the enemy, as controlling Route Camaro and these key intersections in the bridge allows movement of supplies and soldiers back and forth and up and down AO Ronin. Command and control is a weakness for the enemy, with the singular headquarters squad occupying this town with second squad. Being able to command the dispersed forces within AO Ronin is very hard, and the mortar team and the recon squad are attached, and they were not inculcated into the existing infantry motorized squads. Now going 2 levels up to our company mission. The mission statement is that Charger Company 1st to the 5th disrupts enemy forces in AO Ronin no later than the 30th, 2200, August 24, in order to deny enemy influence on the battalion main effort. The expanded purpose is that we will conduct disjointed squad operations in depth within AO Ronin to conceal the current capability of Charger Company and disrupt the enemy commander's decision-making process, to divert combat power from Objective Bobcat and Highway 11, and give time for the remainder of the company to reconsolidate and reconsolidate for follow-on operations. The end state is that primary MSRs in the AO and AO Ronin are contested. North Torbian forces are disrupted without accurate knowledge of composition and disposition. That minimize civilian casualties and collateral damage to infrastructure, and that friendly dispersed elements are reconsolidated and postured for follow-on offensive operations. Going one level up to our platoon, our mission statement is: 1st Platoon, Charger Company, 1st to the 5th, disrupts enemy forces in AO Ronin no later than 30th, 2100, August 24th, in order to deny enemy influence on the battalion main effort. The expanded purpose for the platoon is: conducts disjointed squad operations in depth with AO Ronin to conceal the current capability of Charger Company and disrupt the enemy commander's decision-making cycle, forcing him to divert combat power away from objective Bobcat to our east and Highway 11, and buy time for the remainder of the company to consolidate and posture for follow-on offensive operations. The end state for the platoon is that primary MSRs in AO Ronin are contested. North Torbian forces in zone are disrupted without accurate knowledge of composition and disposition. Of platoon composition and disposition, that we minimize civilian casualties and collateral damage to infrastructure, and that friendly platoon assets are reconsolidated at the patrol base and postured for follow-on offensive operations. Getting into the adjacent units for Force Platoon, looking at our platoon level concept sketch, we can see that 2nd Squad will be following Axis Smash to conduct a ambush and destroy enemies on Objective Reaper. 3rd Squad will follow Axis Fake and conduct a demonstration to suppress enemies on Objective Ghost. And us, as 1st Squad being the main effort, will follow Axis Ultra down to Objective Phantom and destroy the enemy mortar team on Objective Phantom. Sir, this concludes my brief. Pending any questions, thank you.